Hey friends, how's it going? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day, whatever you want to call it. I'm Laura Bender. I'm just adjusting my camera so you guys can actually see me practicing. So yeah, this is going to be this might be the new day. I'm not sure if we're going to do one every single week, but I am going to I'm going to try to have classes at least once a week here on this day. If not, maybe Sundays or something. We'll see. Anyway, so welcome. We're just going to do since it's lunchtime. We're just going to do a quick little kind of vinyasa type class to kind of keep us moving a little bit. Also, just kind of end down at the obviously in relaxation and shavasana. So I'll go ahead and get started right away. All right, come to our mat. And again, if you need to use props, I'm going to grab a couple here. I didn't really prepare 100%, but maybe some blocks and a blanket will be perfect. So have that handy. If you need a pillow or something too, that's great. I'm just going to grab one of these to have. Okay, and then we're going to start in a child's pose. So go ahead, just bring your knees nice and wide. If you need some extra support, obviously maybe you can place something between the hips and the heels or underneath the knees. Go ahead and reach the hands forward, the fingertips forward, gently just kind of resting the elbows on the mat, forehead on the mat. Let your tailbone, let your hips just kind of sink back towards your heels. You might even gently kind of press into the mat with your fingertips if you can kind of push yourself and lengthen a little further. So just to begin by taking a few deep breaths in and out the nose. Maybe even taking the time to just rock the forehead side to side. All right, good. Let's just take a few more moments here, maybe in stillness. Just listening to the breath, tuning in. Bring yourself back to it. Allowing yourself to settle just a little bit more. All right, and at your next inhale, begin to exhale yourself forward. Coming into a tabletop, and lifting yourself up to your hands and your knees. All right. And when you're ready to, kind of planting the hands here, we're going to tuck the toes. I just want you to start to drop the belly down, lift the gaze up. And as you exhale, round to the back, coming into a few cat-cow spines. Inhale again, draw the legs together, so you drop the belly. And then exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Let's do a couple more, just kind of moving easily, maybe kind of adding some other movement too if it feels good. Very good. All right. All right, let's go ahead and come back to a neutral spine. Walk the hands forward just slightly. We're going to start to lift the knees up off the mat. Bring yourself to a downward facing dog. Now, this might look not quite where we are today yet. When I mean that is, maybe your back's a little tight, maybe your hamstrings are really feeling it. Just go ahead and take your time. Really push into that those fingers. Walk the feet out. Really bend the knees here. All right. And then take the time, maybe lifting up both the knee or both the heels, bend the knees, and then see if you can draw the heels a little closer down to yours. Just drawing the belly back towards the thighs. All right, take a deep breath in. As you do that, lift up the heels, bend the knees, look forward, and we'll take a step up to meet our hands, or a few steps if you need them. Meeting in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, fold. All right, root to rise, come all the way up to stand. And then exhale, bring the hands down to the heart. All right, deep breath in as we reach up. And I just realized I'm not quite in camera. Let me move back just a teeny bit. Move over. Let me see here. Do this. That should work, hopefully. And yeah, maybe that'll work. Okay. That's better. All right. Inhale, deep breath, reach up. A little back bend here. Bend those elbows. Inhale, reach tall, connect the palms. Exhale, dive on down, reach down for your toes. Find an inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. We'll plant the hands, step back to a plank. All right, inhale, shift it forward on your tippy toes, and then exhale, lower down either knees, chest, chin, or try to run down. My arms are feeling because I did some triceps yesterday. All right, inhale, lift up to cobra or up dog. And then exhale, shift the hips back and up, downward facing dog. Take a few moments here to pedal it out. Work it out. All right. We'll take a nice deep breath in. Lift those heels, bend the knees, look forward and step up to the top. And an inhale, halfway left. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, reach to rise all the way up to stand. And then exhale, hands to heart. All right, good. Inhale, arms coming up. And then exhale, fold all the way down. Swan dive this time. Find a halfway lift with your inhale. And exhale, fold the hands down. This time we're just going to step back the right foot. All right, find some space between the feet. As you plant the right hand, we're going to lift up the left arm. Good. Release it down. Come up to a crescent with your next inhale. So the back heel's lifted. And the reason I asked you to find some space, we don't want to have the feet on a tight rope here. So find some space between your legs. And reach the arms up. Good. And then we'll open up with your exhale to warrior two. Go ahead and flip that front palm up, reverse warrior. And then exhale to side angle pose. Arm comes here down, or maybe you have a block or something here too. We're going to sweep the other arm up over the ear, creating that line of energy. Perfect. Let's reverse warrior. Good. Exhale and cartwheel yourself down. We're going to plant that right hand one more time. Inhale, reach up with the left. All right, plant both of those hands, kind of surrounding the foot here. Now I'm going to demonstrate this with blocks. Just placing blocks on either side of my foot. I'm going to take a deep breath in. As I do that, I'm going to float up. Whoa. So it's carpet on carpet, guys. Float up that right leg. We're just coming into like a standing split here. You can probably move things around a little bit. So see if you can drop your head down. Really relax the neck. You're kind of looking at your knee. All right, good. Go ahead and step the feet together at the top. We'll inhale, find a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach to rise. Reach up nice and tall. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find a half lift. And then exhale, plant the hands. Again, now we're going to do the left side. Take the left feet back, left foot back. As I say, take your left hand, plant it down, reach up with the right. And then exhale, release. Find that space between the toes again. Inhale, reach up, crescent lunge. Good. Your next exhale, open up warrior two. Stepping off the mat. Flipping on the front palm, reverse it. And then side angle pose. I'll show you another variation here. If you wanted to take a block. Good. Go ahead and reverse. Sweep it all the way back. All right, cartwheel all the way down. Again, left hand will plant. Reach up with the right. All right, and this is where we kind of center the feet a little bit more, or foot. Take those blocks if you want to use them. Then we're going to float up that left leg, dropping the head down. Good work. Step the feet together at the top. Inhale, find the half twist. Exhale and fold. Root to rise all the way up. And bring my hands to the heart. Good. Take a moment here. Just going to pause. I'm going to take a drink of my tea. Take a few breaths, maybe take a sip of water. Whatever you need today. All right. Here we are, friends. Let's go ahead and come back to our space if you're not here. Let's take a nice deep breath in, reach up. And then exhale, fold. All right, so from here, friends, bend the knees enough and then start to sink back your weight into your heels. Let's come up into chair. Find a nice solid chair here. Maybe your legs or your thighs are squeezing together, or maybe they're apart, but you're still really engaging the inner thighs, those quadriceps. Shoot off that. There we go. All right, let's take one more breath here, and as we exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in, and then we're going to twist over to the right side. If you feel like your left knee is squeezing forward there, go ahead and draw the hip back. Press in. Good. Inhale back to center. I'll take the twist over to the left. Good. Make it back to center. Reach those arms up. Chair pose. And then exhale, fold. Let's take the feet wide, all the way to your edge of your mat. Really bend into the knees. Grab elbow to elbow. Let yourself hang in ragdoll. We'll sway a little bit here. All right. Awesome work, everyone. All right, go ahead and release your bind. Feel the feet back together. Let's take a breath in, inhaling halfway. On the next exhale, plant the hands, step it back to your plank. Inhale, shift forward, exhale, lower down. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, heart lifts up. And then exhale, downward facing dog. All right, once we get to this down dog, let's go ahead and inhale up the right leg. Exhale. Softly bring it over to the side. Plant the back heel. Reach up. And pause for a moment here. Alexa off. You guys probably all heard that. That's okay. It happens sometimes. All right, warrior one. I'm not sure how it even turned on, but I turned her off. Reach up nice and tall. Take a deep breath here. We're going to exhale, hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift the heart up, draw the shoulder blades together, and then exhale, let's bow our heads. Good. Release the hands. We'll step back to plank. Inhale, shift it forward. Again, lowering down, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, heart lifts. And then exhale, downward facing dog. All right, inhaling up that left leg. Exhale, bring it up to the top. And again, plant the back heel this time. Reach up, warrior one. And here, don't necessarily think about where the hips are. Take a look down at your sternum. Take a look at your sternum here. Just need to look down. And maybe just kind of place the hands here on the hips. And then draw your sternum so that it's facing the center. Doesn't really matter where this is because our body's going to do something a little different. Okay, let's go ahead and inhale, arms come up. Good, exhale, hands come behind together at the low back, one finger over this time. Let's draw the shoulder blades together and then lower the head, bowing down. Good, release the hands, step back to plank, lower to the knees, make them nice and wide. Toes touching, come to child's pose. Take a few moments here for breath. This wouldn't be live TV or live broadcast on YouTube if it wasn't, you know, wouldn't be the same. If you have weird interruptions of things. That's all right. Go ahead and let yourself lengthen here. All right. When you're ready to, go ahead and go back up to the tabletop pose. All right, we'll do a few rounds of cat-cow, so you can tuck the toes here if you like. Inhale, dropping the belly, exhale, round your spine. All right, good. Go ahead and bring yourself back to a neutral spine. We'll tuck the toes under. Let's go and lift the hips up. We'll come again to the downward facing dog, taking a few more pedals here of the feet if needed. All right, lifting up the heels, bending the knees, make your way up to the top once again. Let's find an inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, fold. All right, root to rise. Bring yourself all the way up, and then bring the hands to the heart. All right, take your time here to kind of find your grounding in your feet. Find yourself at your feet. All right. And just kind of let yourself, for a moment, maybe just kind of shuffle side to side. Kind of putting weight into one side, one to one foot, one into the other. All right. Once you kind of found that space, that nice balance between the two legs, let's go ahead and add the weight now over to the left side. See how that feels for a moment. And while we're doing that, finding all the corner, the little triangle of the shape of your foot, not necessarily four corners. I think that's kind of deceiving because that's not how our foot is shaped. It's not square, it's not rectangle. Our foot has kind of a triangle shape. So there's 2 points, one beneath the pinky toe, one beneath the big toe, and one kind of at the center of the heel. So think about that little shape there that you're creating with your foot. All right, so we're gonna start to lift up the right, and we'll come to any variation of tree that suits you today. So it could be down here, it could be at your calf, it could be at your thigh, or another variation you practice. Maybe kind of taking the arms into another posture above the head or spreading your branches. All right. And then when you're ready to, go ahead and release the arms. We're going to slowly step the foot back, crescent lunge, opening up to warrior two once again. Let's go ahead and inhale, reverse, reaching and creating that side body stretch, straightening out the front leg. Let's go ahead, lengthen forward here and find triangle pose. And again, this doesn't have to be really deep. I just have my hand on my shin. Okay. All right, bend into the knee here, cartwheel the hands. So we're turning to our runner's lunge and see if you can kind of inch your foot all the way over to the right side. And as we do that, we're going to go ahead and extend back the right leg. And this might be where you need some props. I always need something to kind of support underneath my hips. But I placed the block underneath. I also have one for the forehead as I fold forward into our little pigeon here. So let's take a few breaths here. Take some time. All right, friends. Go ahead and come up onto your hands. Remove any props that you were using. We're going to go ahead and tuck the right toe under. Go ahead and lift the left knee up, reaching your leg up, three-legged dog, and then bend the knees here, open the hip up a little bit. See if you can really lift that knee up. All right, then we'll exhale back to downward facing dog. Take your time here. Maybe again, you need to pedal the feet or really bend the knees. Let's take a nice deep breath in with the heels, bend the knees, and bring yourself up to the top once again. Inhale, find a half lift, and then exhale, fold. Reach to rise all the way up to stand, and then bring your hands back down to the heart. We'll take a moment to kind of do the same thing we did at the beginning of this whole sequence. Kind of go from side to side, each foot, seeing you can find that place of balance for a moment. Good work. And then we're going to come back to stillness and then start to add that weight, that pressure, not really even a pressure, just kind of a light gentleness onto that right foot, feeling it nice and even. And then slowly lift up the left leg, bring it to where you feel like you're at today. Moving the arms in any direction you like. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and slowly up the foot back. Reach up to that crescent lunge. Good. Open up to warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And then straightening out the front leg, we're going to lengthen forward. Again, triangle pose, however that looks like for you today. Good. Bend into the front knee. Again, we're going to cartwheel ourselves down. This time, again, now scooting the right toes over and kind of coming down onto the shin. We'll extend that left leg back now. Again, if you need support here, underneath the hip or any part of the body, we're going to walk ourselves down, come into that half pigeon once again. All right, friends, go ahead and bring yourself up. Remove the props again that you had beneath you. We're going to tuck the left toe under and then lift that, bring it all the way up, three-legged dog, and then bend the knee, open the hip. Hopefully you feel nice and even now. All right. Go ahead, bring yourself back to downward facing dog. We'll lower to the knees, swing the leg around, and we'll come all the way to the back. All right, go ahead and see if you can. If you're here, you're just gonna slowly roll yourself all the way down. Take your time. All right, I'm gonna actually use this pillow for my head too. If you have a blanket or something, you're welcome to use that. Let's go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. Offer ourselves a little bit of rock and roll on the spine. Just kind of release it a little bit. All right, so we're going to place the feet down. Are your hips width apart, whatever that looks like. And we're going to place the hands right beside us. Kind of gently roll the shoulder blades underneath your upper back. All right, so that's your next inhale. Go ahead and press it into the ground. Lift those heels or press the hips up. And again, maybe kind of bring those shoulder blades underneath. And the higher you can, the more you can squeeze here, coming into this bridge pose. Let's take a couple more breaths. Good. Let's go ahead and slowly lower. Take your time, one vertebrae at a time here, folks. All right, then we'll shift the hips over to the left side a little bit. And we're just going to take the knees, drop them over to the right. Maybe using one of your hand, like your right hand here if you want to bring the knees a little closer to the earth. Go ahead and reach that left arm out. Bring the gaze over to the fingertips. And just let your spine twist. All right, go ahead and bring your legs back to the center. We'll take the knees, hips over to the right. Drop the knees to the left. Again, kind of opposite move here. Take your arm out to the side. All right, then go ahead, take another couple of breaths. All right, go ahead and bring it back to center. We'll just take a moment to squeeze those knees back in. Give yourself a big hug. Bring your forehead up. And then we'll extend everything out and even kind of give yourself a big stretch. All right, and wherever you happen to land, go ahead and let yourself just release yourself to your mat. I'm just feeling every connection as you breathe in by the nose and we settle into Shavasana. And at the end of practice, I will just ring one of the bowls a few times to kind of bring us out. So just kind of take your time here. We'll spend these last few minutes in rest. Nice, friends. Start to just move the body gently, inviting breath back in. Maybe rocking the head a little side to side, stretching the body. And just in your own time, just kind of bringing yourself up to your seat, your eyes closed, or to soft gaze. Draw the hands to the heart center. So thank you so much for sharing your practice today, your afternoon practice with me. I really appreciate you. Bring the thumb knuckles up to the third eye, the center of the forehead. The divine light in me sees and honors the divine light in each of you. Together we bow. Namaste. All right, thanks, friends. Hopefully next week we'll have something similar at lunchtime. I'm not sure if we're going to do another vinyasa. Maybe. Just going to see if it works out. Otherwise, have a great week, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.